A very good evening, and of course that was our first game of the Independence Day. It is a game that has ended 3-0, not in favor of KVC. I want to hear from, of course, the coach of KVC. Coach, good evening.
Good evening.
This is the second time you're playing UCU this year. Actually, maybe let me just say this season.
Yeah, this
you played them national club championships.
Yeah.
And you did not win.
Yeah.
You have again played them this. The first round of the National League. What is the problem, coach?
Maybe we need to just work on our reception and our side outs.
Yeah. Okay, looking at this game, you actually brought all your reinforcements. You did have players I did not see last weekend.
Yeah.
Does that speak to the seriousness with which you are giving this particular game?
Yes. Because this is a day off and so it's a week, like a weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean the presence of the players was basically to do with the fact that it is a public holiday?
Yeah, because some people are working and some fixers are not favoring some players. So
okay.
That's why they are here.
Okay. Coach, let us talk about your second set. You seem to be in control of that particular set. You actually were leading 23-19 and then you lost that lead. Coach, what could have happened?
Some players switched off a little bit and the focus went off a little bit. That's why I think I have to take our side.
Okay. Coach, any final words to the viewers who are listening and, of course, to your supporters?
Yeah, I want to first thank KVC family. Please thank you for supporting and let's keep going. To the fans out there, please, let's not give up on this game. It's a very good game to watch. Let's support the teams we want. Okay.
Thank you very much. And that was, of course, the coach of KVC. We are going to bring you the next game live on the Sporters page. Please feel free to subscribe and we shall bring you all that. Almost 4 points. The KVC team was leading 23-19. And of course, I did see your girls marshalling up and rallying up themselves to take that set. You want to talk about that kind of resilience?
Amass as many wins as we can. Because personally, as a coach, I believe that we can. So it's what I'm inculcating into the girls to have that belief.
Coach, there was a time your team was trailing. The KVC side was leading 23 points to 19. What had happened in that particular set?
We had lost concentration because at that time the KVC team made a double substitution and then their supporters started and the team started to run. So when they started making that noise, girls got a little intimate.
Of Wednesday, it's Independence Day, and of course we are back to LUGOGO. Nemo Stars have the privilege of playing the first game in LUGOGO since we are back, and I want to talk to the coach Nemo Stars. Let me start by the supporters for the very director to execute, and I know we are ready to get a good result. Coach, this particular game and this particular side UCU is a team that usually disturbs you. Being a university side, it's one of those games that disturb you. So I will tell you that today you have made the right preparations. Today is a difficult time. Every time I have met them, they have given us a car. We will always fight everything. The revisions they give us, but we also give them the necessary revisions at the end of that. Coach, I want to wish you well and I hope you win this game. Thanks, that's that I talk to you after this particular game. Thank you very much. This gives you momentum going into this particular game. Of course, the sport is different. The sport that is there now, a different one. But yeah, we played them in the rounds, the quickest set. But it's upon that we are going to dig in and see what we can deliver to them. Yes. Okay, coach, I hope to sleep you after this personal game. Yes, sir. I wish you well, coach. Thank you so much. David here.
The one and only the magician of Uganda.
Hello, Shamla. Thank you so much. Good evening. Welcome to this encounter between two of the top flight clubs, UCU Dubs, of course, against Nemo Stars. And what an exciting evening we are going for. We are going to enjoy this game.
Yeah, and Nemo Stars and UCU, this is the
Center player and good players. Of course, also Opus. We know him, Opus there. He's a receiver attacker. So literally we have to enjoy the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful evening. Yes, and also we saw that Wandera was also started, Wandera Stephen, and we saw that very few balls went to him in terms of attack. He was mostly there to serve and defend, because even on the block, KVC was trying to take advantage of his block, and Esau and Derek, the youngsters, were sidelined in that moment, and that still also goes back to the preparation. Maybe they did not have enough preparation for the game. But do you think Esau is going to actually start this game? Do you think he will be in the first six, or maybe we could see Wandera again?
Yeah, I really don't know how their training has been, but looking at the way Wandera played over the weekend, I assume maybe the coach may have to change something there between Wandera and Esau, and have Esau start, because he's one of the pillar players, young players in that team, and they really need him in all aspects. So I think the coach is going to start him ahead of Wandera.
Yeah, so we shall see how the game will go. And then on the side of UCU, I see their middle players. They have Eli, they have Ayala, and they have Ian. But usually there tends to be a swap between Eli and Ayala. And I really don't understand the difference between the two players. I see Eli is an aggressive attacker, yes. Ayala can attack as well. But I don't understand, is the difference in the tempo, or is it in how one is more relaxed than the other, or what does, I don't know what the coach looks at, because sometimes it's Eli, sometimes it's Ayala. But of course Ian, we see he's aggressive in attack, he's a good blocker, so that one, it's understandable. He has to be there, he's their go-to middle player. I don't know why. What do you think?
Well, I think when you look at Ian, from the time he got his injury and how he has bounced back, he's really doing well, and you can see that when they are playing, he's always one of the guys the coaches have to look up to, of course, in the middle there. Then between Eli and Ayala, of course, you know, Eli is a very good attacker, and he has a good service when it crosses that net. Ayala, to me, I think he is a good defensive player. He can block, and we can really give that block very well. So I think Eli is a good scorer in terms of playing there in the middle. But looking at the defense, I give Ayala ahead of Eli. Yes.
And then we see UCU has some of course some new players that we have not had time to take attention to in the previous games, but we see they have an opposite player, Amanya Kevin, jersey 18, and we saw he came in to actually play that role of opposite when Nixon was, and when players are coming off an injury, we don't usually see them starting a game. But since this is a tough game, I'm looking to see if he will actually go to Amanya Kevin, or he's going to actually go to Nixon. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are set for first set and looking at the two sides here, how they have lined up their players. I think this is surprising a bit because we look at the Nemo side. George is being started from out, and we have the two youngsters, Esau and Derek there receiving. We have Smith of this set. In the middle, we have Redman there starting on front court, and Willington. Then we have Ivan playing the opposites.
So maybe the coach has a different strategy for today because surely we were hoping to see George. I am surprised that we are having Derek and Esau, the youngsters, starting. And I feel like this is going to affect their serve-receive moments when UCU gets in service position. Yeah. So we shall see because George tends to take a big gap in serve-receive. But now if we see that that ball goes to early, but you can see the setter is trying to get the middles going. So we did mention that Nixon had been off on injury, but you can see the coach has started him and he has made that point for UCU. And we see now Ellie is on as well and Ian. So Ayala has been started out. Yeah. We pick from Brian.
Yes, that is of course Redman, and you know he attacks a slightly adjusted ball in the middle there. So the center players really of the opponent side have to take key note of that because he has the energy, he has a good swing, and as you have just seen.
And don't you think the strategy of UCU needs to go more to the service strategy needs to go more towards Esau and Derek than the libero? Because I feel if they continue to go to the libero and service, there is going to be trouble because we've seen Brian receive very well. He's a good receiver. So if they go to him, I think we might see the middles moving so much because Smith will put that ball if he has Redman in the middle. So don't you think the service strategy needs to actually look out on these youngsters?
Yeah, I like how you've just mentioned now. You see both teams are really going to serve direct to position 5 there. And they are putting their defensive ball direct to the player at position 5 there.
And I'm guessing that having the youngsters on court for Nemo Stars, we shall see Smith going so much to his opposite, Ivan, going so much to his opposite, Ivan, because now he has to actually look for a mature player and aggressive. Yes, the youngsters are aggressive, but UC is also not such an easy team. But on UCU side, we see the setter is going so much to Nixon as well. We have not yet seen O'Mara in these few points, but he's going so much to Nixon, and that's a first for O'Mara.
Very good hit there from Derek. We have been talking about this young man here, and he really looks supercharged for this game, and he has really gone up there and scored that points very, very well on the block of course, the birthday boy Hussein and Ian. Yes, and I think he's doing, for now, he's okay. He's doing well.
Yes, it's a good start, quite a good start from Derek there. Yeah, he's going hard. He's being aggressive. I think he knows why he's there on the court. And of course, Smith taking advantage of the fact that he's having the setter Adome blocking him. So he's trying to give him that ball. But we are having O'Mara mark to serve, and he goes after Derek, and it's not the best reception that you need. And it's now a free ball to UCU, and goes to the middle. That is Ian.
That's true. So prior to that, you have already seen mistake number 1 of service box there from Ivan. Just serve that ball out there. But look at that jump from Ian. And I must give credit, of course, to the setter there. That was a good joining ball to the middle. And you see a point ahead of Nemo Stars here.
Yes, it's a good start getting Ian going, and it's a marvelous spike there from him. And gets to keep O'Mara back in service, and he's a good server. O'Mara is a good server, and he's going after the receivers, Derek, and later on we could see more servers also going after those guys. But if the Nemo is able to execute in their power attackers, maybe service won't be so much of an issue. But Nemo has the serve now, and we see Opus is on the front court. There's a net fault there from Nemo Stars.
And that is Smith Okumu there. That fouled on the net. And of course, you can see that the setter from the UCU side, that is Hussein, is also looking for exactly where the short block of the opponent side is. And that is where Opus, his receive attacker, is attacking from. And he's really getting Smith there alone. And he's forcing the error of Smith there.
Yes, and I think setters tend to go against each other in the games. They want to play against each other. And you can see again the service, the reception is not the best there from Esau. And that is what we have been talking about, that they are missing with having George starting on the outside. And UC is having a 2-point lead here with that error there from Esau.
You know, Ian is also one of the good servers in this UCU team. And
Yes.
when that ball really goes, he serves it very well. But now you see the error there. He has put it out, and that is another error of the service there on the UCU side also. So we have Willington here. He's going to serve. And Redman is back on front court. But still, there's a short block, of course, of Smith there. And I'm going to watch how the setter of UCU is going to play this one.
Yes, he could choose to go to early, but the reception is not the best. And Opus comes in hard. Early tries to keep it in place, but the setter tries to counter that against Esau. But I think in this case, it's the question of that block, that very high block that Esau puts there and shuts that ball down. Yeah, and you see also O'Mara is struggling a little bit on that serve. So he didn't give the setter options again, but this time it's a bit better. But that is another error there from Opus on that attack.
Yeah, I think the UCU team needs to really calm down because the services are not really that simple for both teams. And you can see there, Willington is a very good server, and his service always usually drops. It's a float service, but drops there in the middle of the court. And you see that is almost going to get to.
Yes, and
Mara
this
there.
time goes to Opus. Setter dump, a good play from Adome on that one. I think that was the best way he could get a point in this moment, because if you look at that block, sending that ball to Opus when you are having Redman there, and you can see Redman had not so much committed to Eli on that one. So service error from Hussein, and that's the third service error we are having from UCU. Yeah, and Nemo takes the lead. Good service from Smith. Opus tries to, he goes hard on that one, yes, but there's also net fault from Nemo Stars, and that is on Redman and Esau. I think they tried to close that ball down, but there was an error. And also, we can see Opus had made such a great effort on it. Thank you, Coach Memory. I see you here on the live chat on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Coach Memory says Ian's approach from the screen looks good. Yes, Ian is a crucial player for UCU, and he has I'm going to say strange but good approach, because when he's in air, you don't know where he's taking that ball. Yeah, he could turn on both sides, position 5, position 1. Yes, and yeah. And then Coach Memory again is asking, I don't see George, but I think these boys should be able to play well so they grow. Yes, George is on the bench today, but I think the boys are trying to do a good job at the moment. But that is a service error from Esau, and that's the second service error from the same player. The second time he's going in for serve, and second service error.
Yeah, I think, of course, now the coach should be looking worried because we can't be accumulating these errors every time a player rotates and goes to serve. Yeah. So set from Ian to Omara here, and he scores. There's a touch on the block, and of course even the libero. And what a set from Ian, a center player. I don't expect such a set from him, but look at that.
It was such a lovely set from him, and a good attack from Omar. And you can see the block he went up against, and he takes that ball cross court there on Derek. It's a good attack from him. Good play. Oh, service error from Eli. Eli is also a good server,
Yes.
but quite inconsistent in his services. And we can see he gets that first service error. Yes, and UCU has 4 errors at the moment, and all the 4 errors they have are from service. So they've made 4 service errors compared to Nemo that has actually made just 3 service errors. Oh, it's actually the same, 3-4. Both teams are losing service. But that's a good play there from UCU.
Of course, that's a very good set there from Hussein to Nixon, who is here going to serve. And we talked about these opposite players really being involved in this game, and we are seeing that both teams are using them.
Yes, but we have not yet seen so much of attack from Nemo. And before that ball went to Derek, I had a feeling it would go there because you can see Hussein is on the front court. So definitely Smith will go to the side of the setter. He will send that ball to Derek, yeah, to get that point, to take advantage of that slightly shorter block. And Derek is going a bit high on the hands. A good pick from Opus. Error from
That is
Omara.
Yes. Now, you talked about this kind of balls that the UCU team is attacking. These are running balls. And
a bit
in
high.
case this ball doesn't really come the way it's supposed to come, as you can see right there, the set is off and it is forcing Omara to really have a very, very tight angle there and a swing, and you can see puts it direct to the net there.
Yes, and now that one is slightly tight, but he dumps it and gets that point. However, good effort from Ongom Ivan on that defense, despite not keeping the ball in play. But now Mark is going in for service, and we've seen his service is very good, and he's going after the receiver attackers, Derek and Esau. You can see he's forcing that ball to position 5 and 6 away from the libero. But this time Derek makes a great play. Ball goes to Esau through the backcourt. Should we check the floor for cracks on that one? It was really a good one.
Two thunderers from Esau there. And of course, Smith is a very good setter. He has been in this thing for years and he reads the block so much. And you can see he left that gap for Esau and he really had to drill that ground so hard in front of the libero. Of course, Gusul is a very good libero. So what did you expect?
And it was quite unexpected, by the way, on the side of UCU. That backcourt, it was sort of like a surprise. A good effort. Do you think there was those are 4 or there was a touch from the blocker?
I didn't really see a touch there. I didn't see a touch. Ian was meant to play that over. And slowly we are getting to see Nemo Stars drifting away from the UCU team here. They're having 3 points ahead, and UCU has scored the first time out in this first set.
Yes, I think they need to see how to fix that reception and get their play moving. But I feel there was a touch there from the blocker when the setter tried to set that ball. I feel there was a touch, unless otherwise, and the referee feels there were 4 touches on that ball. But the way UCU seemed in that type of play, it looked like they also saw a touch from the blocker. But maybe they need to fix the strategy and see how to get their middles moving, and so that they're able to play that ball outside. And having the setter on the front court, they don't rely so much on Nixon on the back court. So right now, the setter seems to be looking at just 2 attackers, Ian and Opus. So, and we don't see Omara attacking a back court as well. So he's just relying on those 2, and Nemo is having the lead. But that's a good pick there from Ogusul. And the backcourt comes in and it is shut down.
Yeah, I think it was a tricky ball for Hussein there. You can really see he tried to jump high, but of course, at that point of the situational play, you really have to put the ball where you feel comfortable the ball is going to be executed. But of course, you see the block that side is really so high, and that's why the opposite player, Nixon, has been brought down there.
Yes, Esau's block is quite a high one. Tough pick there from Opus. Was there a touch? No. Ian tried to go high off the hands, but he was unable to get it. And if you take a look at that replay, he was actually unable to get that ball off the hands. And it seemed a little bit adjusted from what he normally attacks.
Yeah, that's true.
And you can see, UCU seems to be looking for ways to get those points, but Nemo Stars is just not yielding. And it's Derek in service, and he's serving quite hard. I can tell you I'm so surprised by how Derek is playing this game. The service is good. The reception is not that bad, not as bad as we had anticipated. He's putting that ball up. He's scoring on his attacks. So at the moment he's doing well. And that serve just came right to Opus and he was unable to keep it in play.
Of course, Opus is one of the principal receivers this team has, and you can see the ball. I think the serve is really so tricky and it's hard. It's coming straight at them, and you can see off the block and lands on top. That is Esau going high above Ian and Hussein.
Take a look at the body language of UCU players at the moment. I think they feel like they don't know what to do next. And the coach is now bringing in the double substitution, the two players that we earlier mentioned, Amanya Kevin, the opposite player, and the setter, Anthony Asasira. These are some of their new signings that they have this season. And yes, we hadn't mentioned so much about them, but we are now seeing them in action and getting to talk about them. So let's see what difference they can make, because as I always say, it's not over until it's over.
Yeah, that's true. So I think the coach is going to try and split this block right here by having 3 attackers on front courts.
That's another service ace from Derek. I think Derek has made about 7 services, 7-6, because it was 14-13 at the time of service, and now it's 21-13. And you see, you just can't find a solution to that service, despite that last one being lucky and touching on the belt.
I must tell you that George, the way he's sitting outside, is really proud of what he's really witnessing here, and you can see Derek is really delivering so much. He's doing his part, and I'm getting to appreciate the fact that I wanted to watch how this young man plays, and so far I'm very impressed. He has
starting outside. There are moments where we see also a switch in Nemo between Fahad and Willington, but I think Willington being a little bit more, how do I say, I don't want to say younger or more active, should I say. He gets to play more than Fahad, and we see Fahad also struggling a little bit with his knee. He has a little bit of trouble with his knee, one of his knees. So maybe the coach tries to give him less play time to protect him in that regard. But I think he usually comes in moments of experience and time to play that mature game. Yeah, so the timeout has actually been effective. You see, he's able to get a break on that one. Derek loses that serve, and yeah, that's the 4th service error from Nemo Stars, and the first error, significant error that we are actually seeing from Derek.
Yeah, as you can see there, I think UCU has gone back to play the out of strategy kind of game, because the defense there was really close to the middle of the court. It's not like now they started playing it side and the person in position 5 there. But a good set there from the setter, Sasria. Yes, and of course Opus with the execution.
Yes, it's a wonderful attack from him. Cross court, very sharp. It goes straight to Esau as well. Willington, isn't that the first attack that we are seeing from Willington?
Yes.
Yes, and a good play from him. It's a good adjustment. I felt the ball was a little bit behind him, but he made that impressive adjustment and kept it on. And we see now Redman is back on. 22-15. Nemo Stars is now looking to get those 3 points and take the set. These are crucial points, and having Redman on the front court there with Esau is a good advantage for them. This time Opus tries to get that cross court, but the ball goes out with that slight touch on the net. I think sometimes the net plays against teams in these games because the service as Derek had was on the net touch. Now the attack that Opus has made, the net touch just sends that ball out. So the net plays against the players sometimes.
Eli Navuma there with a very good swing and very good attack there. You see you having 16 points, and of course Nemo looking at 2 points to end this first set encounter.
And Nemo Stars looking to get those 2 points. UCU has tried to get that 1 point, but let's see what Kevin can do. Serve is a bit too easy for Esau. Is that ball on? No, it is out. But I think Esau just wants to break down the arena because he's coming in so hard. Despite that ball going out, you could feel the power of that ball just from here. It's a good attack from him. Yeah, and he goes very high. And the fact that the setter was still on the front court, he wanted to take advantage of Anthony's block and put that ball on the line. But he went out. The double substitution has been reversed. The coach seems to want to make another substitution, but he's told to wait on that one. It's out from Hussein going after Esau. Stand ball comes to the backcourt. Good defense from Ogusul, but that ball goes out.
Yes, Smith going to serve for set points for Team Nemo Stars, 24-17. And of course, Smith, he has a very good service, and they have maintained their strategy of serving direct to the person, that person in number 5. And he gets an error off the service box.
Yeah, service
is
error.
Still holding on in this first set, and we are now going to see a substitution for Ayala here. Is going to come in.
Ayala is coming in for substitution, surprisingly, for service, surprisingly for Opus. Let's see, he also has quite a good serve, but can he actually push and continue to push Nemo with this service pressure and maybe take UCU to further points? Because it's set point for Nemo, they just need one. They've proved that they can actually get that one. And it is a service error from Ayala, and he hands that first set to Nemo Stars in that last point. But UCU started well this set, but later on the service pressure from Derek especially, it disturbed them a bit and were unable to continue with their plan of the game. So now I think if they could fix that issue and be able to sort it out, maybe they could have a better second set. Yeah, but Nemo was a bit consistent with their services and their defense. Although we didn't see so much of attack because they were mostly going after UCU on the serve. But we are yet to see, I guess, because we didn't see Redman so much, we didn't see Wellington. We saw mostly Esau, I think.
And Eric, yeah, for now, I think the Nemo side is in control, and their errors are really, really coming out of the service box mainly. But when you look at the UCU side, the balls, like I talked earlier, the balls these boys want to attack, or the balls they are used to attacking, are the running balls. And when you get that ball well, you will execute it. But in case there is anything that makes it hard for the attacker to convert that ball, it is on that accuracy of that set. So every time we have seen our pulls attack, it goes up, mark attack, it goes up, because the angle they are hitting these balls is getting tighter and tighter. So it's really because the services of Nemo's side, the players, of course, is getting the receivers of UCU to struggle a bit, and we saw Derek going straight to a post there and forcing errors But I hope for the best in the second set.
Okay, let's wait for the second set and see how it will go.
Okay, we are back for the second set. Of course, we have just come from a break and witnessed Nemo Stars player taking the first set. And the two sides have not changed anyone. They have not really made any changes. And UC is going to start with a service here with Hussein, and he goes straight to Derek.
Not the best reception there from Derek, and there's a bit of a struggle from Mongom. Nixon goes high off the hand, and he gets that point. I think that defense was supposed to be for Derek, but he was a little bit in and unable to move to go backwards and play that ball. So it's a good start. Hussein is going to serve again. Again, he's going after Derek, but this time it's slightly better reception. Well, goes to Estelle, high up the hand, and UCU is unable to keep that alive. Good play from Estelle to get that point, and it is 1-1 here in the second set. Nemo Stars took the first set. For those that are just joining us, the first set went to the side of Nemo Stars, and we are in for the second set, and it's 1-1 at the moment. We shall get those scores on the screen for you in just a moment. Monster block by Redman and Esau. Impressive block there against O'Mara. I want you to talk a little bit about the disadvantage of that ball that these guys are playing in terms of the block.
Yeah, looking at that set, this is an off-system set. And, when it's a libero, really, it tries to be very careful. And, to put that ball really high so that Nixon can try to execute. But we have a block there standing, positioned well, and it is a high one. Ivan and Redman. So if you really don't move a center player on that ball, and that block is positioned, it's very hard for the attacker, of course, to go through it. And we have just witnessed one of the deadliest blocks in this second set.
Yes, and I think that means UCU has to get their middles going for them to actually play that ball outside. Yes, and that's a point from Redman. A little bit of a struggle on that ball, but he manages to get that point. And it's 3-2 early lead here for Nemo Stars. 1 point lead though. Redman, good float serve, but Ogusu will fix that one. See Ellie. Ball goes to Derek. Free ball, sort of. Ellie comes in hard this time. And I think that is what UCU needs so that they get that momentum to play, because we didn't see so much of Ellie in the first set.
Yeah.
But also that comes with the reception as well.
Yeah, I think the setter is trying to really do his best to join these balls in the middle, and that is one good set there you've just witnessed. He has joined that ball to Ellie, and you know Ellie has one of the hard attacks of all the center players. Of course, you can't leave out Redman. And as I talked about strategy, UCU is doing exactly what Nemo has been doing in the past set. They are serving to the receiver attacker on the number 5 position there. So you have just witnessed an ace from Ellie. And you know Ellie has a very good service.
Yes, and they are going to continue to go after those two players as well, because you can see Esau and Derek standing there. We have not seen Brian receive at all, but of course that is a service error from Ellie, and it's the first service error of UCU in this set that we are seeing, and also the first error. That is 4-4. I think we also saw, if I even fully actually mention it, service error from Nemo Stars as well, and that is Ivan. Ivan had a service error in the first set,
Yes.
and we are seeing he has a service error again. And I'm going to mention the previous weekend, the last weekend that Nemo Stars played against KVC, he struggled a bit on his serve again, and had a few service errors in that game as well.
Okay, now the tables are really turning for the receiver attackers here. We are seeing UCU has decided to go straight for Derek Hill, and is really being forced to make errors here. He's not receiving well, and that was sluggish of him. Of course, he has attacked that ball way off the court there.
I think that is the strategy that Nemo Stars was missing in the first set, that UC was missing in the first set, going after the receiver attackers. Because even at the start we mentioned having George off court slightly affects that. But Derek is going in service, and he gave UCU so much service pressure in the first set, and I'm sure the receivers know it, and they need to get that break as soon as they can. Yes, it's a good serve. Free ball, it's an overpass. It goes to Esau, kept alive. Free ball. Hussein tries to attack that ball, and he finds Esau waiting for him. High hand, and that is an advantage for Nemo Stars, and they get that point again. What do you think about the set actually trying to go and attack that ball? Is it a good idea? Do you think that maybe he could have set the ball?
Yeah, it's of course, it's a really very bad decision on the set. But looking at the way the person who has just covered the ball, Omara, they covered the ball deep here in position 2. And I think the setter really thought no one in position 4 to give that ball. And we have seen another man off the center. So you see, he is getting off the mark of concentration again.
Yes, and that is not the best play there from the setter. Just a little bit of a struggle, but now we can see he settles and is able to give Omara that ball. And you can see the fact that Ian has moved and the reception has reached, it forces Willington to actually commit to Ian and gives Omara a chance to have a one-man look outside, and he's able to get that point. Very good play from the setter and all the way from the reception. And we are back to level 7-7. Time it is Omara to serve. Again, going after the attackers. Yes, it is kept alive. Good defense from there. People again, they just see you. It is the attacker that touched on that net. What do you think? I think it is, personally, I think it is the attacker, not the
Yeah, I
attacker
agree
that
with you. I
netted.
agree with you because I really saw the attacker really falling in the net. I really don't know what the referees are going to say here, but that was really
Let's take a
too
look at the
close,
replay.
and you can
It is,
see, yes,
on the replay, you can see it is actually the
the
attacker
attacker, yes.
that touched that net. I don't know why the referee did not actually see that, because on the replay you can actually see it is the attacker that touched that net. And yeah, it was obvious actually that it is the attacker because that ball was crossing.
Yes.
There is no net foul there from the blockers. It's all the attacker. But I think those are things that happen here. You can see the captain Smith is talking to the referee to see what the referee is saying on that point. That is an error of the referee surely, because it is obvious who
I
would
think
have been.
clearly the first ref saw what happened, but I don't know why the second ref has called the net foul against Smith and of course Willington there.
But it's a good play from Estelle. And there's a net touch from UCU. You know, when people usually play now, there's something they tend to say that karma, it's called karma.
Yes.
Yeah. And now it goes back to UCU. And it's a net touch from them again. I think we would say to confirm that the previous play was also a net touch. But that's a point for Nemo Stars. And they get that lead. Yes. And I think maybe they are satisfied in their hearts, Nemo Stars,
Yes.
when they're able to get that point. A good pick from Ogusun. This time it's Opus, and he takes that ball hard. And that is once again because Ian is in the middle there, and Redman has to slightly commit to him, and he's late on the outside. So Opus is taking advantage of that delay and putting that ball in the court.
Okay, I want you to look at the block that UCU has on front court right now. It has two shot blockers and Ellie.
And then a service error from Ian. One of the crucial servers, the most crucial servers for UCU, by the way, is also Ian. But inconsistency is something that they struggle with as well. But still, they are disadvantaged on the block either way. Yeah, because having Ellie in the middle there, and then Hussein and Opus, and that is it an overreach?
Yes,
It's an overreach.
overreach. And you know, when the setter is really on front court, those instances are common, but opposite of our receiver attacker in the opponent side tends to jump with him. I know the setter can force an error from you.
Good play from Ellie in the middle. I think there was a little bit of a struggle there for Brian. He sent that ball back, and also a sort of like funny play there from Nemos from UCU. But they're able to get that point on that struggle from Ellie. Pick from Derek. Redman comes in, but he is covered. Good play from Momara. Opus tries to dump that one. Advantage. And yes, Esther will get that point. It's a close from UCU.
Like I said, I think this team UCU needs to calm down because right now they are going at the calls coming from the referees, and it's going to affect the mentality of these players in this game right here. And looking at how the reaction of the fans and of course the technical team of the UCU players there, I don't think there should be any foul or something like a foul being called there, because behind there you can see the reaction from the fans, but we don't know what fans can say anytime.
Yes, I think maybe they need to just concentrate on the game and get what they can get, because the referees don't change that decision. And I think what we have failed to understand as people who play and watch volleyball is that referees cannot overturn fouls that are made. I don't know, is it on the ball or off the ball? If to say, referees cannot overturn things such as netting they can't say that now the point is going this side because, oh, we had seen a net, but we are now seeing that it was not this team that netted. They would say a common point, or they would just let the opponent have that point. But if you complain that maybe the ball was on court or it was out, I think they can be able to try and overturn that one. The first referee can say, no, the ball was out or the ball was inside. But things of net touch or such plays, it's very difficult for the referees to overturn their decision.
Wow, that is the second point. UC is having issues reacting to the referee's calls here.
Yes, but a good attack from Nixon. I think we didn't see him so much in the first set, but this set, that is actually an impressive play from him. And it was a bit of a delay on the block from Derek and Willington.
Yeah, so we are having Ian. Ian is back, and he's very good at committing these center players from the opponent side. And I want to see how he's going to play it against Willington here.
Yes, and that the setter needs to get him going. Good play again. You see, it seems to be fired up at the moment. And I think that has also come from the frustration they had towards the referees in the previous points. But they are a bit fired up, and that is also a good play from Ian, good watch. But credit to the server to force that overpass from Nemo Stars. Again, going after Esau and Derek on the service. Service error this time, and that is from Eli once again. Second service error from him.
I'll always keep saying that this UCU side has to really calm down, because now the frustration is going to get into them, and they are going to make these errors which we really don't expect of players.
And of course, they are at a disadvantage at this moment because Nemo Stars already has a set. And if they feed off of that frustration, they can actually push and get this set and the next. But good play from Omara in that one. Good set again from the setter. Good movement from Ian. It all just comes in and works together from the reception to that. So they are able to play that ball that they want to play.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, Opus there with very good catch. That's an A pass. We call it A pass from Opus there. And very good set from Hussein to Captain Mark Omara there. And he only had Smith, and there was no way. There was no chance on a running ball.
Yes, and it's an ace service from Nixon going after Esau and Derek on that serve. Take a look at that good service between Esau and Derek. I think that should have been Derek to take that ball because it's on his right. I think Esau should have let him take that ball. Maybe it could be on the court. But Nemo Stars has been forced to call the first time out, and this is the first time out they've called since the first set. In the first set, they didn't have a timeout, and the second set, they are calling a timeout. The first timeout having. UCU is fired up, having that lead. I feel like maybe if UCU stays the way they are, we could see a 5-set game here, by the way.
Yeah, and I would really like to see how UCU reacts to this set here. I wish they can take this set and we see how we step up with set 3. Of course, they really need to keep calm.
So you want to see a challenge?
I really want to see a challenge.
Challenge between Nemo Stars and UCU.
UCU, yes. Yeah, of course, UCU is leading, and I want them to at least try and put up the fight and maintain this lead. And of course, we can't put down Nemo Stars here. They are very good at chasing points.
Yes, and of course, Nemo Stars has a way to get those points. But this is an error from Derek, unfortunately, and that ball goes out. So right now, UC is feeding off of unforced errors from Nemo Stars in this moment, and we can see George moving up there to the bench. I feel maybe George may come in this game later on or now. Again, that ball has to go to Derek. It's a bit off net, and Opus just takes that in cover. And Mark comes in hard again. And that's another point for UCU. And it's a 5-point lead for them right now. And they are pushing into the late points. You can see the delay there from the blocker Willington. Did not join well, and there was that space. substitution for Nemo Stars, as we've mentioned. George is now finally on.
Yeah, I think the pressure has really gotten into Derek here, and there's too much noise in the arena here. This is where we need experience, and right away George makes a first error and Smith nets. Just listen to this place. You see, of course, charged here, and their fans are really backing them up in this set. They are 6 points ahead of Nemo Stars here. Timeout number 3 for Team Nemo Stars.
Yes, UCU has really pushed them on attack this time, and that's because even the defense is working. They're feeding off of the errors of Nemo Stars, the errors they are having on reception, and that's a chance. Even George's substitution has come in, but he has struggled on that fast reception. But I feel UCU could have this set, because surely a 6-point lead in this moment, they're getting into the late points, and sometimes with the way they are playing, even if Nemo tries to catch up, if they score 1 point, 1-1 each, by the time Nemo Stars is catching up, the set will be over. So it's like that attack from Ongom was on court, unless I was not seeing very clearly. But anyway, UCU is still going. And Nixon has had a good service run. Is there a touch? Yes, there is a touch from the block. Ball is a bit tight, and it's an error there from O'Mara. Quite a tight set, and he tries to dump, but Nemo gets a break on that one. Yes, but George has not yet made the difference on the service, because he's also a good server, very experienced and mature in that service box. So let's see what he can do. But it's not over until it's over,
That's
as
true.
I always say. He goes after Opus, but O'Mara comes in, tries to dump that ball. Kept alive. It's a free ball. Are they going to the middle? Yes, they are going to Ian from behind. Good attack from Ian. Good communication from the setter. I think UCU fans are actually impressed by that play. Take a look at such a wonderful play. Esau did not actually see that coming. He delayed a bit. He saw it later on, and the ball was just...
It's like they've won this game, but anything can happen.
Yes, but I think that has pushed them, surely. That's a good play from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good set from Hussein there. Very good play from Ian. And of course, you could see like the team had 4 attackers and they have scored the points.
Yes, and it was sort of like a back shot. An impressive play. And it's an ace service again from UCU, and that is from Mark O'Mara.
Wow.
UCU has tried to fix their errors that they had in the first set. We see they have quite few errors. The only errors that they have in this set are actually service errors from Ellie. Yeah, and the rest they've tried to cover up and close up those errors. But then again, Esau comes in hard on that one, takes advantage of that block. You can see the block that they are having, Hussein and Ian. But there's a substitution here for Nemo Stars. And we can see... But we can see for the first time we are seeing Nemo Stars setter, their new signing of this season, getting on court. It's the first time that we are seeing him in a league game, playing a league game for Nemo Stars, because we've seen JB playing, we've seen Smith, but now we are getting to see him here on court. And let's see what difference he can make.
Okay, now you can really see that UCU is getting advantageous. They're even introducing that backcourt attack from position 3 there, and that is Captain Fantastic O'Mara Mark going in for that hit, and of course he gets off the hands of Redman, and a foul called on netting there. Good service from Ian, and we have Esau. Very good attack, very good swing. Now I must tell you that the setters are really getting to see and determine where to put this ball, because this is a dying moments of the set, and UC is really not going to let the set go from my own perspective here. Of course, thank you everyone that is joining us online. I see you, we see you, we appreciate you. Thank you for your comments. And we can see that again and again and again. Hussein launches another backward set to Captain Omara there, and he scores. That is the second attack. He's doing it from backward line and he's scoring.
Yes, and I think we are seeing the backwards coming in this set because we did not see the backwards in the middle there in the first set. There were very few, we did not see them. But the setter, that's the new signing for Nemo Stars, the setter is Benon Musinguzi, and he was a setter from Ndeje University last season, and he joined Nemo Stars this season. Shot number 3. This is the first time we are seeing him playing in a major game for Nemo Stars. In this league, we've been seeing JB and Smith, but I think now he gets a chance to maybe make a difference. That is an attack out from Opus, an error from him from the attack box. But UCU has the greatest advantage right now. They are closer to the set, to winning the set than Nemo Stars. And that's a good catch. Nixon, is it on? No, it is out. Set point for UCU. The first set point for UCU.
Yeah, we talked about the block that Ivan has and Redman being so high, and Nemo having 3 very tall blockers in front court. But of course, the good set from Hussein there to Nixon. He was able to execute and score.
Yes, and Nemo Stars, UCU has right now they have 6 set points, 6 chances to take this set. Yes. No, they have 5 chances because on the 6th chance, Nemo Stars will catch up with them. But they have 5 chances to take this set. So anything can happen.
I think UCU should be able to win this set here.
Yes.
I really think they should win.
Nemo has saved 2 set points so far. That's a good pick. And then ball goes to Eli. Good defense from Mongo. George. Again, ball goes to George. Does he get that point? No. And UCU is able to get that set. And we are going 1-1. We are going in that third set. And UCU tried to minimize their errors in this set. And they tried to feed, to put service pressure on Nemo Stars. And they tried to actually defend and get their middles going. They played wonderfully this set compared to the first set. But you can see both teams are on each other's throats because both teams are, the first 2 sets we have seen each, it's ended the same way surely, 25-18, 25-18. So I'm waiting to see what the third set is actually going to look like.
Yeah, I really thought UCU could have even taken this set when Nemo had about 15 points or so, but the errors which were evident there, the netting, and of course poor decision making from the setter, but they have done well. They have played a very good set, and of course you could really see how the players on the bench are supporting the ones on the court. They really went out to enjoy this set here. Like, of course, every coach will always tell his players, you go and enjoy the game, and that is what we have seen here in this set. Comfortable win for UC for this second set as we prepare for the third set coming.
And we are back here for set 3, Nemo Stars versus UCU. We saw the first 2 sets. Nemo Stars took the first set. UCU came in very hard in the second set, and they took it. Same points, 25-18, 25-18. So this is where it gets very, very competitive. The person who takes this third set has an advantage, very good advantage. So I want to see what Nemo Stars is going to do. We are seeing there's a change for Derek. George is starting this set, but UCU lineup stays the same. So we are looking to see maybe having George on is going to create a difference for Nemo Stars, or maybe UCU will come in with the same momentum. And George makes a good block touch there. Ball goes to Ongom. He's blocked, but good effort from George again. It's a free ball from Smith. That's a play from backcourt attack, and that ball is out. You think there was a touch on that ball?
There was a touch on that ball. Very, very, very obviously there was a touch. I don't know why the ref has decided to give it to Nemo Stars, but of course the ref is always the final man. And you can see, as I mentioned earlier, the reaction from the fans, the reaction from the team on court, the reaction from the team at the bench says a lot. But of course, from my own way of viewing, I thought there was a touch.
And you see, I told you earlier, or I mentioned that there are things that it's very hard to challenge. Such types of play are hard to challenge, the referee. But if the ball is on court or ball is out, such things you can challenge. But these other plays, it's very hard. And George makes that block on Opus. I think we are seeing George is making the block touches despite being one-on-one, and that is not something we were seeing from Derek. Despite Derek making a good play in the service box and trying to attack, but we did not see so much of him on the block. And we are seeing, just in these 2 points, we can see George is trying to make an effort. But that is a point for UCU. It's off the block, off the hands of Ivan Ongom on that one.
Yeah, of course, we are going to see a lot of George here in this set. And, Smith and George have a very, very good time connecting together from the time they started playing for this great club, Nemo Stars. But we believe he's warm now. He's warm, really.
Yes, and that's a good play from Ellie, trying to block Redman on that one. But then again, we see ball goes to George, and he gets that point for Nemo Stars. I think the Nemo Stars fans are feeling a little bit relieved and more hopeful now that they are seeing George on court. Yeah. And he's serving. Goes after Opus. Very lucky there that ball did not actually land. Ball goes to Ivan, and good play from him. He plays against the block and dumps that ball and gets that point. Nemo Stars has started very well, really.
Yeah, they have come with a lot of energy for this set, really. I think they are set for this game now. See there, Smith connecting with Ivan, George, and of course you see how the team is playing together here. That's a point for Team UCU. The game is really getting tense. It's going to be a tense ride in this game right here. And of course, we want to say thank you to each and everyone that is watching the game online. Nicholas Ochen, Coach Memory Dube, Priscilla Mayimba, Gwambale Alex, Team Jerry. And of course, there's an interesting comment from Alan Abak. You said that Sith is also orthodox. He does what you expect and with precision. Other setters try out so many things and even confuse the attackers. With this experience, you only need to be fit to run stuff. Thank you, Alan Abak. Of course, we have Team Jerry. You're saying UCU is beating Nemo 3-1. The game is still on. And of course, it's 1-1. And we wait and see who will be the victor of the two. Betty Nakandi, we see you. Jasmine Chove, a very big one. I think the referee is against UCU. Oh, he has eye problems.
Okay, the comments are sometimes interesting. Thank you, our viewers who are out there watching, and all those that have actually subscribed to our channel. We are really, really, really grateful to you. Yeah, and we see that UCU has tried to catch up here. 5-3 now. They're just 2 points behind. Yeah, but you can't quite say who is going to actually take this game at the moment. It's an error from Ian. Tried to rebound that ball back to Nemo Stars, but he puts that ball in the net.
Yeah, what if you're a coach? What would you expect to have told such a player? Why would you go for an attack when you can really uncomfortably do the blocking? Because that is why you're on court as a center player. You're meant to block.
I think players try to go hard. They want to get those hard points. Yes, and sometimes you just need to send that ball back with a block, and you get that point, a clean point, rather than trying to send it hard. Sometimes it's the simple plays that get the point. But we can see Brian was kind of caught off guard in that defense by O'Mara, and that's a good score. George, are you seeing the difference that George is making on the reception? On the reception of Nemo Stars, there's a big difference now that we are seeing. The reception is better, and we are seeing it's also allowing Esau to now relax and concentrate so much on the attack and net defense than the reception. And now it's a better rebound from George.
Yeah, that's what we talked earlier on about strategy. And now UCU have decided to completely forget about their strategy of serving the receive attacker in position 5. Now they are deciding to go and serve George. This is one of the people we all know has the best reception in whatever day you put him on that court. So UCU has to really think twice and maybe go back to their strategy and serve maybe Esau. Since Derek is off court, maybe you can go and serve Esau. But a game is a game. Strategy is strategy.
Yes, but that is a wonderful play from Nicholas to get that good backcourt attack on the line. I think it was a little unexpected for the Nemo side, but it's a wonderful, wonderful attack from him. We can see that UCU has tried to push and make a slightly a comeback, but Nemo Stars is still leading. And again, you can see that reception. It allows Smith to send that ball back, and Seta is on the front court. So UCU is supposed to be able to take note of that. But look at that body language from UCU. I don't want to say they've given up, but you always see sometimes that type of relaxed body language from players.
Yeah, Smith has just removed the point that he has made seconds ago. He has just gone and served out. That is an error from Coach Smith there. You see with Opus at the serving line. But looking at the Nemo side, of course, this is their A team. This is their number 1 team. That means they have come to play now. They have come to play now. And that's an attack error from Redmond. Very good ball from Smith to the middle there. Redmond hits it hard out.
And now UCU is just one away catching up. It's still a very early game, but when we get to the 15s and 16s, it's starting to get late. But I want to see how far this will go, because I feel both teams have that competition. It's a good block from Eli, and he seems to have enjoyed that one. Wonderful play from him. He committed on that one and gets that stuff block against Redman. Impressive play. How do you think this makes Redman feel in this moment, or Nemo Stars? Because he has an error and he gets blocked. Doesn't that make the setter kind of rethink a little bit on how to maybe get Redman to score?
Of course, experience there plays out for George there. Very good score, simple and precise. Of course, now you asked me about Redman there. I'm going to tell you that in circumstances where center players really get into this kind of situations, one, he has attacked out, forcing an error and a point off for his team. Two, he has been blocked by Eli here. And now we see the points are tight. George has served out. This game is going to be interesting, this particular set.
Yes, and it's what we love to see, really, a challenge. I want to see a set where we get to 20s and both teams have 20, 20. We get to 22, 20, when you don't know who is actually taking it till the end. But that's a good attack from Ivan Ongom. Good attack on the line. Left-handed players tend to actually easily go to the line in the in position 2. It's their strongest side.
There's a comment here from Kanyesi Flavia and all over. Now she says, if you see you could capitalize on serving the right persons, they might
Going
get
to
it. Good block from Elliot.
Yeah, and I think when she says that, I think we are trying to see how they should look for Esau and not George or Brian, so that they can get the advantage for themselves. Yes, and yep, it's now 12-12. We are tied, but that is what you want to see, the challenge, the competitiveness between both teams. Yeah, and this time George gets that again, and ball goes to Ongom, and good attack from him. I think Omara is having a difficult time shutting down Ongom from position 2, because even despite Ongom not attacking so much in the previous sets, we've seen that the times he has gone up on that block against Omara and Opus, he has actually scored. We have not seen him being blocked by those players. A good pick from Opus. This time Omara is blocked, but ball is kept alive. That's Wellington. Nixon comes in hard, kept alive. Still alive. Good play from Smith. Oh, it's a pointer. And I think it's a good call from the referee. We saw it earlier on, but I think he didn't notice it well. It had happened. Ogusul is making a carry on that ball.
You could really see how he went down to play that ball. You are a libero. What would you be doing with your tips and going too low like that? Why don't you dig the ball so that you give your set a chance to play? And now you see you have attracted a warning on their side because of their reaction to the referee.
Yes, and this is what you had been talking about earlier on. They need to calm down and play the game and not play against the referees. And this can challenge them again right now, because Nemo Stars has the lead and they are defending, because you can see despite no block there, George had actually defended that ball from Omara. So they need to calm down and play. And the referee is talking to Hussein there, trying to tell him that the players need to calm down. And the Nemo fans are now just getting fired up for the game. Good play from Hussein. Good dump from the setter. Really, really good play from him. I think they did not expect him to play that. The reception is still moving towards 4, but as he goes back, he just sends that ball over.
Yeah, you can realize that Ivan has now changed serving strategy to float service. He has left the jump service. Of course, you always witness him do that kind of thing from jump serving. When really things get hard, he goes back and does the float serve. That's his SR off and high above Ian and Hussein there, and that ball goes straight.
I think that attack went over Hussein, and that ball is on court. Very deep attack. And Nemo Stars is back in the 2-point lead. But it's not over until it's over, by the way. The set is still tight. Ian, is it through? Yes, that ball goes through the blockers, and Ian is able to get that point.
Very good joining ball from Hussein there. Like we discussed earlier, if only the setters can get to join this ball and try to commit the person in the middle, their outside attackers would only be left with one blocker. And looking at the Nemo side, they have Smith, the shorter blocker, of course, on that side there.
Yes, but that's a service error from Ian. Ian is a good server, but I keep mentioning that his consistency on the serves is not very good. I've not yet seen a service error from Nemo Stars unless maybe I turned away a bit and didn't get to catch it, but I've not seen it in this set. But that's a good play from Opus on that ball. Attack from him, and you can see Redman slightly committed on Ellie and didn't really get there, but Smith left so much line on that ball, and Opus takes advantage of it and gets that point. And that is a good block there from Ellie.
Hey, just look at this. We have Redman, you have George, you have Ivan on front court. But there's something which I'm really not understanding. Redman is not balls are being touched.
Yes, and that's because Ellie is actually committing to Redman there. But I wonder what would happen if reception was good and all the three attackers moved, and then the ball went maybe to 2 or 4. It would be difficult for him a bit, because I feel he's 100% committing on Redman, which is good, but has a disadvantage at some point. But Nemo Stars has called the first time out, and maybe they are looking to see how to catch up, because at some point they had a 3-point lead, but now they are 1 point behind UCU.
Yeah, I think the UCU block is trying to really do their part. You saw them putting George down there, and Redman's balls really are being touched. I don't know whether their connection with the setter is not really working, but you can see all the balls he has got, he has attacked out. There are a few points, I think, in the first set or second set there.
Yeah.
But in this particular set, he's really having challenges with Ellie.
And Ellie is committing. He's committing. But now the good reception has come. And I think you can see what I mentioned just a moment ago. You can see Ellie wanted to commit on Redman, but that ball went to George. And he's unable to reach and close that gap. But it's good to commit on your man, because you're there to block him. But Nemo Stars is back level. This is what you want to see, surely. A challenge, going point. And Ellie gets that point.
Hussein is really setting up Ellie to go against Redman. And I can assure you, all his balls have scored. And he has touched all the balls of Redman. That is a question Redman should be asking his mind right now. How or what is not going right?
Yes, and I see UCU has switched from that steel ball, and they're now playing a slightly moving ball for Ellie. Yeah, which is a good strategy, because then it would be a bit difficult for Redman to block him. And now we see Ian has also come on. If UCU could maintain that play in the middle, maybe they could actually get this set as well. It's an ace service from Ayala. Good serve from him at such a crucial moment. Very good play.
Yeah, Ayala is a good server, and you see the coach has realized that Ellie has been making errors in the service box, and he has brought Ayala, and that is a positive change in this game, because all these servers of the UCU side have been avoiding the libero, and on first attempt it's an S, because the libero has not been receiving in this game really.
Yes, and this time he is able to get it. And Ongom finally gets that point on the line. But then again, Nemo Stars is still 1 point behind, and we can see UCU is growing strong with being able to get that lead. They are pushing and growing strong. But it's not over until it's over. The teams are very, very tight here with each other. We see now Redman is going into serve, and we see Wellington has come on. A good pick from Omara.
Yeah.
That ball is good, but I feel the set, despite the struggle Nemo has had with it, I feel that it's an error from Ogusul. And I think that goes back to the referee calling him a carry.
Yes.
The earlier point. So maybe is he overthinking the play?
No, I don't really know what this is meaning, because you can really look at him go and put himself in a position of playing that ball perfect with the setter set. But the ball goes through his hands. So should we say the ball is maybe wet or slippery like that?
Good attack from Ian, and Wellington is unable to shut him down. Very, very wonderful attack. It's a moving ball as well, as you can see.
Yes.
So you see that switch from that steal ball, and they are scoring. But that's an impressive play from both the setter and the middle player. Good connection. Substitution here. Hussein is coming off. I think that is a blocking strategy to get a higher block.
The coach really wants to defend here, and you can see there they brought a substitution. And now we really want to see who's going to set. I'm going to go with Opus. Opus might really be the setter in case of an emergency play.
Yes, and let's see. Nixon gave them a good serve in the second set. Let's see if he can take them to the victory. But then George plays that well, and ball goes to Ivan. It is covered, kept alive. We have Esau in 4, but the ball goes to Ivan again, and it's kept alive. This time it's Omara who makes that set, but that point goes to Nemo Stars. I don't understand the thing with UCU. They are complaining so much, and they already have a yellow card. And if there is any sort of card that is given in this moment, it could push them to lose a point. But let's see what the referee is going to do here.
Yeah, I think the referee has made up his mind. I don't know if he's going to consult. Okay. He's really going to consult his second referee here, and it's going to be interesting.
But you saw the second referee changed sides and came to the UCU side, so that would mean that the point is for Nemo Stars.
Yes.
But let's see what decision the referee is going to make.
Nemo Stars here.
I just hope he doesn't say common point.
Exactly. Yes. So the point goes for Nemo Stars.
I personally don't like when the referee has made a decision and then now has to overturn it to a common point. I don't like to see that.
I don't know the strategy that UCU coach is going with here, because you can see they have brought the other setter now. Hussein has been kept outside. So he wants to have 3 attackers on front court. Ian and of course Amanya, then Mark behind there. So I really want to see how it plays out. It goes behind.
And that is another error, yes. Another error from UCU, and that ball goes out.
And you can see that 2 substitutions have immediately been reversed. Hussein is coming back, and of course Nixon. But now Nemo is back on the lead, and we are now at the dying stages of this particular set.
Yes, and Nemo Stars is doing quite well in their play. They are having Esther on the front court and high attacker, and Hussein coming back on in the front court. That could be an advantage for Nemo Stars. But a good pick from there. Ball goes to Ian, and he gets that point. Good play, good decision from the setter to give that ball to Ian.
Yeah, but of course you can see Nemo Stars, all the 3 blockers have jumped from the middle. Imagine if the setter had not put that ball in the middle and maybe tried to run it outside, because Smith as well went to help the middle player, Wellington, to try and block Ian. But thankfully Ian has gone through and he has scored a point there.
Yes, and that's good. A good pick from Brian. Ball goes to Esau. He's shut down. I think Hussein has enjoyed that one. Good play from him, and also good play from Ian. He shut down Esau. I actually thought that was a point from Esau before he attacked the ball, but I think
look at where Hussein is blocking from. Just look at, he's blocking from.
Sorry, that is. I can't believe I actually also didn't see that.
Wow.
They sent Ian out on the block and
Yes.
Esau didn't do that. I
Just
think
look
it's
at
also
this.
even us actually we had not seen that.
I really thought Hussein blocked from his
Hussein
use
blocked
your
from the
position.
middle and Esau put Ian on the outside. That's why they celebrated
Yeah.
that so much.
Just look at the reaction
good
from
play
the
there.
players at the bench. They ran into the court there to celebrate because this is kind of interesting. What is Hussein doing in the middle?
And it is actually Hussein who made the block.
Yes.
Look at that. It is him who made the block. And we didn't see the switch. I actually thought he blocked from two. But it's interesting. It's him who made the block. I think
Wow.
impressive
What
play
a
from
block.
him.
Yes.
It's actually laughable sometimes. It's just interesting.
I think
really.
the fans really enjoyed that one. All of us did because I really thought that is Ian blocking.
But it's a good idea, good switch, and it has worked for
It has
them.
really worked, yes.
Yeah.
So they're
But-
back on the lead again.
Yeah, they're back on the lead. I think the attacker will now be very keen on that player and see what they can do. Goes to him this time. The blockers are in the normal format that we usually see. It's a damn free ball. Opus is not there. Ball goes to Nixon, and he gets that point.
Oh my God. UCU is really making things hard for Nemo Stars here. And I don't know what the block of Nemo Stars is doing because UCU are really touching these balls. The balls are becoming very high. I think Smith is trying to really get that ball to where Hussein is, to Esau.
Yes, but we can see a substitution coming in from Nemo Stars. And we are seeing JB getting on court for the first time in this game. And it's not over until it's over, really. Yeah, so let's see. Maybe they could get the point and end the set. Or maybe Nemo Stars could get the point and push us to using. But that's a good serve and good pick from George. Ball goes to George. And yes, that point goes to UCU, and it's an overreach from George there. He made a fault on the line, and it's now 2-1. Two sets for UCU and one for Nemo Stars. I think UCU has played well in this set as well because Nemo Stars had a good lead at the beginning, but they were unable to keep it, and they lost it. And also UCU getting
I really
fired
want
up.
to see where exactly George jumped from, but of course we shall get that replay and see if he really stepped on the line there. But I really, it's too close. It's too close on our end. It's too close. We really want to see whether it was the line infringement there from George.
Yes, and we are going to take a look again at the replay and see whether George actually made a fault there on the line. Let's see what exactly happened. Yes, we are seeing it. Despite all those things, and I feel there was no, take a look at that. I feel there was no fault there from George on the line.
I think that was a really, really bad call from the ref.
Yes, I feel there was no fault. Take a look. Take a look at that. He was so far away from the line.
On the line.
There is no fault on the line from George. No, he was close, but there is no fault. He was close, but not. He did not actually step on the line. And this is what actually now makes the players a bit dissatisfied with the referees, because there are some slight errors that you can see from them, because this is a crucial point for Nemo Stars that they could have gotten. And we saw it again against KVC the weekend they played KVC. We saw that the ball was on the line in the fourth set, but the referees saw that the ball was out, but it was on from our angles. and that cost Nemo a point because they had to go on for a decisive set against KVC. But let's wait and see what is going to happen in the fourth set here. Who is taking it? Are we going for 5 or UCU is going to take it here? And we see the fourth set is underway. Nemo Stars has that first point, but now UCU also gets that point from a double play there from Redmond.
So there's a slightly small switch on the Nemo's side. We are seeing JB is now starting on this fourth set, and you can see UC is already in the lead.
Yes, but I don't want to quickly say who I think could win this game. I feel like it's going to be slightly difficult for both sides, and you can't tell who can take the set here. But I would want Nemo Stars to take this set because I want to push for a 5-set game and see what can possibly happen between these two teams. But I'm going to mention that the way UCU played the previous set, they still have that fire for this set. So they have a high chance of taking it.
Yeah, I think the issue set really has come for this game. Just look at how Ellie is going against Redman here and how Ian is going against Willington. And you have just heard the sound of that cracking hit from Ellie on Redman's block.
Yes, SRO picks that one. Ball goes to George. But there's a net fault there from UCU. Despite trying to keep that ball in play, they make a net fault, and Nemo Stars gets that point. George is in the service box, and good pick from Augusto. Ball goes to Nixon. He gets that point. Yes, and there's just a way UCU is now playing that is sort of like challenging for Nemo Stars. They're attacking, they're blocking, they're serving hard, they're receiving. So they're doing a bit of everything, and Nemo Stars is struggling a bit on their blocking. You can see what we have been talking about between JB and Redman. And I keep mentioning, we saw it in the KVC versus Nemo game as well. that those slightly short sets for Redman in the middle, because Redman is a high jumper and very tall, so of course he attacks the slightly adjusted ball, but the ball that JB tends to give him is slightly different. Good pick from Opus. Ball goes to O'Mara. And unable to keep it in play. But you could see Willington committed to Ian in the middle, and O'Mara had a one-man block outside, and is able to get that point.
Yeah, I think the UCU middle players are really doing a good job here. They are making the work of their outside attackers easy by committing the center players of Nemo Stars here. I think the coach is quite happy with what they are doing here.
And I think that all goes back to reception, really. If the reception comes and it's very good, then they're able to play their middles and outside. But that's a good serve there. And that's an error from Esau. That ball goes out. UCU has had a good start in this set again. Bad start from the first set, but that's a service error from Nixon. But he had given them good services, a good run of services in the previous set. The attack from Omar again, and again he's having one block and the setter at that. Very good credit to the middles and the setter for such wonderful play. Good play from Hussein, and also Ian being there is a threat. And the moment Willington doesn't commit, that ball could come to Ian.
Yeah, and again, you can see from the Nemo side of the blockers, we have JB. JB is not like Smith. We would say maybe can jump and block, but we all know that he's not a good jumper. And we can really see this is Opus. He has really put a nail in front of
yes, and that's a good attack, really. Very good cross-court play. I wouldn't say there's a dent in the floor, but I would say impressive spike from Opus against JB. But sometimes there are setters who can actually make the play one-on-one. But now it's an ace serve again, and you see who has the advantage, really. Such errors are not good for Nemo Stars, especially being behind in play to set. But now they are making a substitution, and Esau is coming off, and we see Wandera is getting on court. Do you think he'll make a difference? Because I see even Brian is out, and we are seeing Omiel as well.
Yeah, so I really think the coach is now going for experience, because Wandera, you all know, is going to just be there to receive and maybe try to serve and put some defense. But we can't expect such a ball to have landed, especially when they are serving towards George there.
This time that ball goes to Willington in the middle, and he's able to give Nemo Stars a break. But UCU has an early lead, really, 3 points ahead of Nemo Stars. And we can see now Nemo Stars is just playing experienced and mature players. We are seeing Wandera, we are seeing Ongom, George, and then JB and Omiel as well. Maybe they're trying to get that push and make a difference. Wandera is now serving. Tough serve, but the setter forces that ball in the middle. It is kept alive. George gets that point.
Yeah, we talked about experienced play, and it's really right there, because George is not even looking for the court. He's not attacking hard. He's just looking for the hands. That's maybe he forces an error off the blockers, and of course you can see I see the ball off the hands of Ian and Hussein, and it has gone off there. But UCU still leading 2 points, 8. Of course, again it's 6 for Nemo Stars.
This time Redman gets that point.
Yeah, I think that's a good set from JB connecting with Redman there. But like you've said, we all can see how UCU is enjoying and how they are leading the set. We could assume like maybe it's just 1 point to end, but we don't know, anything can happen in volleyball.
Yeah, it's still quite early. Not very early, but it's quite early. Yeah. Nemo Stars is still having a chance to take us to 5 despite that 3-point lead. And is it kept alive? No, it is not. There is a net touch there from the blockers. And UC is back to a 4-point lead. They are enjoying themselves, really. And you can see the posture of Nemo Stars, the body language. George seems to be looking for what to do. And them having Wandera Steven on front court is an advantage, a disadvantage at the moment.
Yeah.
Because he's not an attacking player. But that's the serving. The blocks are trying to be there, they're making the touches, but then the errors on the net, the errors on the reception that they're having, the service errors. So those errors are the ones that are costing them at the moment. But then again, it's another service error from UCU. And if they keep playing like that, Nemo Stars could just get one. You see, George is now in position 5. Another error from UCU, and he's back on front court. And
Yeah.
that's not something you want to have.
But when you look at the way the two setters of Nemo, of course, how they set, they have a different gameplay. And you know, Smith, when he's on court, and we know sometimes you can really be sure of where the ball is going. But this is JB, and JB is this kind of person who plays some kind of dynamic volleyball.
Yes,
And that's why you see most times he wants to play the ball in the middle.
the referee says that block is out, but Nemo Stars thinks that ball is on. But also, we need to mention that JB plays a fast ball, a slightly faster ball compared to what Smith is giving George. So I think maybe we could see George playing a slightly faster ball as well as Ongom, not those high balls that they're used to from Smith. But the game keeps just moving further and further away from them. Setter tries to give a backcourt. Ball is kept alive. Jump. This ball goes to the setter. The libero tries to look for Ongom. Free ball. Opus. Ball is kept alive. Good touch from JB there. It's a good defense this time. Backcourt for George, and he gets that point. And I think we all knew that ball was going to George, not to Wandera. So it's a good play from George. Good play from JB as well to block, to block Opus and keep that ball in play. And that's an advantage again for Nemo Stars, trying to catch up. Steven is serving, and George is now on front court. Hussein tries to make that dump, but it's kept alive. But that's an error from George, but also an error from Ian on the net touch, and that gives them Nemo Stars. It's now just 2 points behind.
Yeah, you can really see that UC is trying to rush this set, and Nemo is trying to play it cool because they're on the chest. They know they have to force this other opponent team to make errors, and that is what they are doing. Making UC really error a lot, and you can see now
another error.
Errors are piling error after error. And you know,
let me ask
you to do his own things.
Do you think that ball should have actually gone to the backcourt
Of course
this
not.
moment?
Of course not. And you could really see that we have JB on front court. I don't know why he chose to put that ball on the backcourt.
Yes, and that forced Omara to actually make an error there. And really, Nemo Stars has pushed. And it's not over until it's over, as I always mention. And they've caught up. At some point, you had a 5-point lead, but now you see it's 1. And that puts the pressure on them because they want to win this set and take the game and get 3 points. But Nemo Stars also would want to take this game. So I think really it is just tough for both of them.
Yeah. So now we can all see that the pressure is going to be on the UCU side because they have dropped about 4 points. Now Nemo is just at their backyard here with just 1 point ahead.
Opus is able to take them back to a 2-point lead. Good attack from him, good play. But right now Nemo is closer than they've been. I think they are more motivated that they can actually get those 2 points and maybe catch up and push themselves. And UC is now making a substitution for Ian to have Ayala come in and serve.
Yeah, I think the service game has played out here because we see now that Ian and Eli have failed to do the service. Maybe they are going to employ the services of course Ayala, who already did good in the previous set, he got an ace. So wait and see. He does so, and ball goes to Ivan. Covered by Nixon.
And good pick from Brian. Ball goes to George. Good attack from George. Takes advantage of Hussein's block. And they are able to keep in play. And ball goes to George. Good attack from George. Yes, Dump is kept alive. Hussein tries to go against Redman there. They have caught up, really. Nemo Stars is now back in the game. And we see Smith is now coming on.
Yeah, Smith is coming here to serve for Wellington. And you're going to have two setters on court.
And that improves the defense behind.
Yes.
And also, if there's any slight difficulty for JB or Smith, they have a setter to fill in, to come in and set.
Yeah.
So, does he get the serve? Yes, and he goes after Mark. Ball is kept alive. Set, George sends it behind, but that is kept alive. Eli doesn't get it. I just want you to give some little bit of analysis here. What do you think the way the points are now and the way they play is going? What do you think that does to both sides? For Nemo, what does it do to Nemo Stars? And what does it do to UCU as well?
Well, like I said, UCU is trying to rush this set, and out of all the points they have made, basically, Nemo has crept up because of their own errors. And you know the pressure is going to fire. Now you see the substitutions are coming in. We need to know how they are going to change the way this game is going. But look at the Nemo set. They look composed. They are concentrating, and only the change they have made is bring on Smith.
Yes, and now we've seen Derek has also come on for JB. That's also a double substitution. And I think it's a block and attacking strategy. And then also UCU has also done a double substitution. And we see the setter is on, and the opposite, Kevin is also on. Anthony is on, Kevin is on. And Nemo Stars is serving there again from Smith. Ball goes to Opus, a bit of a struggle there. Gets high off the hands and gets that point, and they're back. A smooth play from...
Ball out. Nemo has stretched their lead 21 points.
You know that saying of tit for tat? The same thing that happened to Nemo Stars in the previous set is now happening to UCU in this set. So, do you think Nemo Stars is going to take this set?
The look of things...
I think they could take it. I felt like I saw that ball touch Opus on the way out. Let's take a look at this replay and see. Maybe it did not actually touch him. Yeah, it did not. I think they could take. Yeah. But 2 points away for the UCU. But these are very, very crucial points. You see, George is in position too, and he's likely going on to serve. But Redman is still on the front court, and that's also an advantage. They're having good reception right now. George can receive, Stephen can receive, Brian can receive. They're having that advantage at this moment. And right now, the setter doesn't even have to worry about Stephen. He's having Ongoma and Redman, so he can send balls to Stephen and Redman and get those points. Alive. Good effort, but the ball is unable to be kept alive.
A very good effort from JB. He's trying to bring the ball back into play, but of course it goes off, and George couldn't do much. Now you see, you have to be very careful of the substitutions they are going to make, because already they have 5. They have made 5 substitutions. So you can see Ayala has stayed on court.
they have only one substitution left, and they are still trailing by 2 points. And these are crucial points. Ball goes to, and the setter has to get that ball. But it's a block. The ball did not get there very well. And Nemo Stars needs to be careful as well in this moment. They need to ensure that reception comes either for Redman to play or for Ongom, because the setter will force the balls to go to those players.
Yeah, and guess who has made that block? That is Ayela.
Yes, Ayela.
Very good joiner there, and Ayela, of course, goes to support Emara Mark, and they have blocked Ivan, and they have forced the timeout.
And I think they decided to keep Ayela on for Ian, maybe to make that difference there in the middle.
Yes.
Yes, because he had come in as a substitute for Ian on service, but they've now decided to keep him on and see how they can push. But Nemo Stars also needs to see that they don't get back to level with UC in this moment. They have to see that they make the next point and get that lead and allow UC to just keep trailing by that 1 point or two.
Yeah,
for them to get it.
If Nemo wants to stay in this game, really, they have to win this set, because if UC wins this set, automatically they are the winners of the night. And we all want to see how this game how this particular set ends, because now the points are just one difference here.
But I think the game is just really going the way you would want to see a game such as this. UCU Nemo really competitive and challenging. Let's see what Nemo will do. Good pick from George. The setter is on the back court, so he has nothing that you can do. But George is a mature player, so you can trust him to actually correct that one.
Ellie is serving and is really just passing this ball over, and George, of course, with all the confidence, has made an error and passed the ball over.
But that's a good effort.
I'm going to tell you that where Rolero is where the ball is going to go, and exactly that is what Hussein is doing, and he has the advantage of Nixon behind there.
I feel like maybe if they could
look at that.
Yes, and UCU now has the biggest advantage because they came all the way from 18-21 and it's now 23-22.
Now Redman has to do much because he's trying to cover up the block for Steven Wandera, and you know the ball has gone right across where he's coming from.
But this time Ongom is able to get a break on that one. I'm looking forward to really see what Nemo Stars can do here to get this set. But in this moment, I'm also in confusion and just waiting. I can't wait for this set to end because I'm anxious to know who is taking this set. Are we going for 5 or is UCU taking 3 points?
Now it's interesting because UCU has the advantage. They need to receive. They have 3 attackers on front court. Nemo, the other side, has one of the people they really want to use to attack, Ivan, and George is backcourt. But front court you have Steven Wandera and Willington. So if I was maybe on the UCU side, the setter is the boss, he knows what to do. So we wait and see. Because you have Redman serving.
Yes, and he gets that serve, but that's a good catch from Omara. Ball goes to Ayela, and UCU has match point in this moment. Any error from Nemo Stars, and it is all over for them.
Yeah, there are players whom you don't expect the setter to give the ball, because look at the body language of Willington here. He knows he has to join, but he didn't expect that ball to go in the middle. He tries to commit, but he was very late.
Yes, and it deflected off his hand. Let's see if you see. They get it. And it's on George. You see, you get the 3 points here, and the celebration. You can just look at the joy that they are having from here. And this is the first loss that we are seeing against Nemo Stars. What do you think of UCU's type of play? Wonderful, wonderful play from them.
Yeah, I think they came to play really. Today they have had a lot of spirit. They have maintained their lead, and when the points when they have lost, they have also caught up and they have managed to win this game. And I give credit, of course, to the center players. They have done their part, and the setter, of course, the birthday boy has done his part. Yeah.
Yes, good play from UCU, and I think also Nemo Stars didn't give the best game from themselves. The blocks didn't work. They didn't really play like the Nemo Stars that you see, and I think all this has also come from the way they played against KVC in the previous games as well. So Nemo Stars has not actually done well these past games, but congratulations to UCU on that win. And I think Hussein is going to enjoy his birthday, like you said earlier on. Yeah, so it's going to be a good evening for him and for his team as well. I think most of the people here didn't really expect UCU to get that win, but now they've gotten it, and good play from them. So, what comments would you have, overall comments of this game and how it has gone?
Yeah, looking at the way the two teams have played, like I already mentioned, a credit I give to the center players of UCU. I give to the setter, and of course they have done so much from technical bit of it. The coach, I think, has been on his A game, and hard luck to Nemo Stars here. Of course, they were here, they played, and of course, Derek was there, Esa was there, but George, I think, came in late, and he has not been able to play his game. So we are glad that we have enjoyed this evening, and yes.
Game of the day. I am here with Captain George. Captain George, how are you today?
Very well, very well.
Hard luck.
Yeah, the game has not gone our way today. We go back home and come back stronger next time.
Two things that can summarize today's game.
Anxiety and lack of the finishing. We didn't have the finishing touch. So we had very many times when we were getting chances and we were failing to kill the ball.
Let me just pick out something I observed. You did not play the first set. The second set, when you came, it did not go your way because the Israeli boys targeted you and they ensured that you were totally off. What happened? Why were not around today?
I arrived late. That I must. So it was on the team coach's choice to allow me start on the bench, and indeed the boys played well. Coming on in the second set and not playing to the expectation was, I can't take the blame, but it's a team sport. Usually we want to count our mistakes, but as a team, we are making very many unforced errors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at the UC boys, this is one of the teams that actually disturbs Nemo Stars. Are you allowing this thing to get into your heads?
No. I must say they got themselves in order after taking the set, and indeed they capitalized on our mistakes. And the more we failed to make a point at an attempt, the more they got the momentum. And for them really, to give them that opportunity to get at you, they can take you to the wrong end.
Captain, one last word, Nemo fans out there who are watching and who are following.
Yeah, of course it's hard luck for us, but it's just game through. We are not yet out. The season is still long, and we come back strong. I believe the Nemo fans are with us in whatever spirit, when we lose and when we win. So hard luck to us, and thank you to everyone who has been supporting us.
Thank you very much, Captain, and that has been the captain of Nemo Stars. It is the hard loss. He says he's not going to allow it to put him down, and his team, and they will come back raising better. Thank you much, and the captain of UCU. Thank you.
Thank you.
one another. So my biggest hurdle with the boys is getting them to bond and play as one unit. So it's now manifesting with this with this game going forward.
Coach, tell the viewers 2 strategic and tactical things that you did that brought you this particular victory.
Serving well.
Okay.
The main thing was serving well because we wanted to phase out their middle play. Then the ball, they play out. So once our service got clicked right, so that was that fell into the game plan. The second thing was being very articulate on execution. Because once we do that, when we get the ball, we have to execute, make a point. Our counterattack had to score. Those were the 2 things that I've been trying to train the boys, and it's good that they stuck to it.
I want to raise just 2 things. One, I did observe that your boys were always getting very annoyed with refereeing decisions, and I felt that this was something that could easily take them off the game. Is this something you want to handle in future?
Yes, it's something we are going to handle to handle because it has been persistent even in the previous season. And it's something that we are trying to say that let's beat the opponent plus the referee. Yes. So we are still trying to build on that mental fortitude. When we come, let's play like the former president, said, knock out the opponent so that there is no reason they say that count and the other person has won and unanimous point.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Coach, lastly, I just want you to give 1 word to your viewers out there, the supporters of UCU. Just 1 word.
UCU is not gone and dusted as most people thought. So the culture of UCU has been players come and players leave. So our losing a Duke to Sportes, a Nero to Reg, dampened most fans' spirits. But I was very excited today that a number of students traveled from Mukono to come and cheer the boys, including former players. And former basketball players, the alumni have been here supporting the boys. So we want to rally the fans to come behind the team, and let's enjoy the season as it progresses.
Thank you very much, Coach, and I want to wish you success in your future endeavors.
Thank you.